So we'll start.
Yeah.
It's late at night. I don't know how you guys do it.
Okay.
We are eager to learn from you.
Thank you. I hope I have something of value for you.
Definitely, definitely.
So
It's hard to connect by connecting the audio.
can you all hear my voice? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. If anything, just put it in the Dropbox. So chat box is there, so you can just put it, or you people are can able to listen my voice clearly.
Yeah, your voice is clear, brother.
Clear, Shakti.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for connecting in today.
You're so prompt in follow up.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
So,
Thank you.
so
So let's go. Yeah.
yeah, ready.
Okay. Good evening, friends. Good evening. Good night. Good morning. Whatever it's his options, we'll do that one. So welcome to our 5th webinar for ILLC, and this is the second 2020 show. We are doing it. One we did with Tim, and I got a very good feedback, and a lot of people liked the show, and they love the show, and this is something very different format.
ऑर्गेनाइज करता है वीकली उसका इंटरनेशनल स्पीकर
Excuse
है
me, friends. Can you all put the mute? Okay. So got a warm welcome. So wonderful feedback I received from last meeting, and it was very nice. And now this is the time we are moving forward for a new 2020 show today, which is our great speaker, my great mentor, my great friend, Stephen Kagawa. So from LA. So he will come and discuss you about sharing his referrals, prospecting, and other things we will see today. You people have any more questions or any comments or anything, kindly put it in the chat box. So this could be a live show where we will have more questions will be already members who ask. We've been giving that particular thing. End of the programs, you can always speak to the speaker about the questions and that. So today we'll move forward to the program. Let's see what are the itineraries available today. Let's see. Can you all see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a welcome to our ILLC 5th webinar. So it's a 2020 show. Today, this is the meeting itinerary. We are going at the meeting itinerary. So today topic, we're going to be discussed about how to get best refers and prospecting in consultation process, which been done by Stephen today. So we formally introduce ourselves for ILLC. Then Stephen will introduce about Stephen's profile. Then Stephen take over about the question answer sections, and he will talk about the 20 questions we collected all over the world. So that questions will be answered out of that. So this is the format what we are looking forward to. Every 5 questions we will take a break, and Stephen will share you about his success stories and different ideas on this particular about his journey of the life. So that's where the programs go. So we will have more fun. Like Stephen have very good nice smile on that, so I love to be smiling. So it's going to be more fun and energetic sections, not like other webinars and other things. I'm looking forward for a particular thing. So these are the itinerary today, and we look forward to see what we offer for ILLC. So ILLC we started on 5th May 2020. So we provide online training, sales skills, exit webinars, social media training. We do email flyers and management skills, time management, and we do protective work from home trainings also. So that's about ILLC. So we shaping up now. So soon we are launching our own web portals you can able to through. And you guys are not subscribed our YouTube channel, you can able to subscribe. You can able to watch all the videos what we are available on previous webinars will be available. That is, you can able to expose yourself on that. Thank you so much. So now look forward, go show our hero, Stephen Kagawa. So from LA, so Chairman, Board, Chief Executive Officer of Pacific Bridge Company, an Mdrt qualifier and life member, honor roll, 19 times top of the table with 21 times court of the table member. So it's about Stephen's profile. So we are going to Stephen. You have to excuse me because it is hiding yourself. Okay, I'm just putting this side. Okay. Yeah, it's about Stephen. Stephen is passionately focused on global financial navigation as well as helping first generation community migrate from Asia to successfully eliminated financially to their newfound American homes. And concerned with this vision, understand and appreciate the engaged financial advisor from different disciplines of insurance, investment, banking, tax, and the law. He is purposely connecting this worldwide express to the better guide multinational people and companies through their cross-border reality to work with specific bridge companies. An organization comprised of multi-international independent financial planning and wealth management related to the frame, spanning with United States, Japan, and Hong Kong. It's about Stephen's company and his profile. So you now look out for Stephen's achievements. Stephen is a Gamma Diamond International Wealth Management Award winner, National Association of Insurance and Financial Advisor Allied Association of Advanced Life Underwriting and Life Qualified member for $1 Million Roundtable with 21 court of table and 19 top of table qualification. Wow. That's where he stands. And you can find him regularly participate in global financial industry events, speaking on issues of ethic, diversity, marketing, financial services, multinational wealth management, and entrepreneurship. It's about Stephen's introduction. So now we will move to the show today. He will discuss about the 20 questions. Before going at the show, I like to want Stephen give some talk about the shows and how you've been doing. Now I will stop sharing the screen. Now we will go to Stephen. Stephen, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you for having me. Can everyone see me and hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. It's late at night for a lot of you, early in the morning for maybe some of you. I'm delighted to be invited to share with you. This is really, it's exciting to me, especially at this time, to be able to share with my brothers and sisters. And I want to give Sakti I really honor and respect Sakti for what he's doing. He's really a hero at this time, bringing the ideas of value to us, to the world. I did participate and listened in on another webinar by Tim Claremont, and I took away a lot of ideas. And so I'm really thankful to you for doing that, Sakti. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so happy you, brother. Looks for a warm smile for yourself, and look forward that's a smile that's energetic for all of the heroes who've been now with situation like in COVID, and this is the one we were looking forward. And you're something that I always admire about smile. So whatever the situation, like given a COVID or not COVID, it's a pandemic or not pandemic, we all just focus for what you are doing forward. Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity you connect for this particular program, and this is something I just want to learn from you. I not only me and the entire whole financial industry should learn from me. You are the way you smile on this whatever situation I took forward. Now move forward to our 2020 program. Let's go for the first question. Are you ready, Steve?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, guys, are you ready? We are just moving to first question now.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's see which country is just going forward, and we'll just see it out of that now. Yeah. So as this, you all know, this is a live program. So what I can able to do that after the question, I'll take off the screen share. So you need to be patient out of that because this is going to be a live show, and after that, it could be watched by millions of people in YouTube. So that's what we are doing this morning. Okay. Thanks for your patience and cooperation. Thank you all. Now we are moving ahead. Okay. There we go. You guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the first question would be that? Which country will give you the first question? So let's see it of that. Yeah. It's from me. Steve, it's from me. So I'll just ask you the question. What's your secret of success? Did you agree happiness the key of success of salesperson? I think somebody have more than a lot of year experience. You should give this answer. So that's what I'm asking this question to you. One minute. I'll just do the shop staring.
Okay.
Yeah. Now this is your turn. Yeah.
So what a great question. You know, what's your secret of success? And do I agree that happiness is a key to success for salespeople? You know, I think it's the pursuit of happiness, right? We're always seeking to be happy, right? To do things that bring happiness to others, and of course that brings joy to ourselves. And I think really you hit it on the nose, Sakti, that it is that pursuit of happiness and ultimately touching happiness, and what's inspiring that happiness is really a key point. So for me to find that happiness, I had to find something of significance. I understand, I've heard before that the purpose of life is a life of purpose. And so why not find that purpose? And so for me to find that happiness, certainly in this business, I have a vision. I have a vision of an aspirational. You know, even in my little small, from where I come from, the small place that I am, the small person that I am, that I could actually touch and help shape that better world. And that's really what I think leads to, for me, that happiness. If I could do that, it brings joy to me. And so in my business, I've created a vision. And for me, so that you know, mine is about global financial navigation. We've got all these questions from all these different countries. It's amazing. I go to Mdrt and see the 70 countries with 70,000 members, all kinds of different people, right? And yet, if we go from one country to the next, we have all kinds of walls between us, right? Not nation by nation. Yeah. And so I want to bring down those walls. And I think that people like you, joining your hands, we can, so that we can navigate the world without worrying about the goals and dreams that we're helping our clients live to and live up to, right? And capture as we go from one country to the next. So for me, it's about bringing advisors together to help the world so that we don't lose sight or lose our way as we travel between different countries. But I absolutely believe that happiness is a key. And so what is that for you is the question that I would ask, right? What is your vision of a better world? Why do you exist as a financial advisor? Who are you saving, you know, to bring happiness to yourself and joy in your life? It's a great question, Sakti.
Yeah, great. So I admire about your smile. That's what I say about that. So what's the secret begin? You keep smiling, or you learn this tricks also in your business, or what kind of secret begin that?
Well, I actually really am a happy person. I feel blessed because I'm surrounded by so much abundance, a world that I'm just one little piece of it, right? And you're part of me, and I'm part of you, and I'm better because of you. And why would I be unhappy with that? Knowing that the power of each other, the strength of our resolve, the love that we have for life, the things that we do that are different, that I can access that at any moment, you know, because it's there. And so that always makes me happy. You know, I also realize that there's no sense in being unhappy, right? Life throws all kinds of stuff at us. And, you know, they always say we have problems in life. We got to go solve those problems. I don't really think they're really problems. I mean, yeah, sure, they're problematic. But the fact of the matter is they're just realities in life. We live, we get sick, we die, we have travesty, we have all kinds of things that happen up and down. And it's just part of the reality of life. The question is, what am I going to do about it? And the beauty is that the answer is always right there. It's inside of us, it's around us, and you're part of the blessing to me, right? You're fueling me right now and bring me a lot of joy because of it.
Thank you for your motivationally speak about that in the beginning of the program. I'm looking forward to the okay, let's move forward. Second question now. I'll just share my screen. Oh. Okay. Yeah, it's question from China. So Angel has asked the question: how you find current situation? What motivate you keep going every year?
So I guess the current situation, I guess everyone focuses on the COVID, you know, pandemic that's taking place. It's sort of not only interrupted our lives, but changed our lives in so many ways, right? For me, I think this is why we're here. What a time for us as financial advisors, right? To step up, right? To help the people get through it. We're you know, these are the challenging times. The reality that life is that fragile becomes a spotlight. And that becomes an opportunity for us to share our stories, right? To go out and reach out and ensure that people are cared for in the way that they want to be cared for. So the current situation to me is a blessing to us. You know, if we take a negative route, right? If we take a path, we always, you know, have control of our actions and our reactions. And the reality is we don't have control of pandemics, right? We don't have control of what life just throws at us. And we should be out there helping our clients understand and appreciate that, to know that life is fragile. And because that fragility of life is what we confront as financial advisors, right? When we have our life insurance policies in play, right? People don't have to worry about dying prematurely because the ones that depend upon them are cared for, right? And that's a huge thing. What an opportunity today because of what's happening to ensure that people are cared for in a proper way, right? And so for me, that's the stuff that keeps me motivated to keep going every year. Great question, Angel. I really appreciate that because I know that I can do it better. And doing it every year is because my goal in my own little mind is I want to help everybody, right? That's ridiculous. But I don't want to just help a few people. And as long as I can continue to help people, whether it's through other advisors like yourselves, which is what I tend to do today, is I want to reach out and hold hands with people like you to help the world better, right? Until everyone is cared for, my work's not done. And so my work continues on, and that's exciting to me. That energizes me because I have something to look forward to, right? And that purpose that I talked about in the first question, right? That life of significance that I hope to leave behind, because I've been nourished so much, I get to nourish others. So Angel, that's really what keeps me going.
So she put the point. One thing that I also like to want to know. How you do it on every year? So do you ever feel it sometimes you want to give up?
That's interesting. Great question. You know, My first probably 10 years in the business, and I'm not kidding you, 10 years. I woke up every morning. I used to visit with one of the advisors that I think most highly of, and was my very best friend, and Arnold Honda, who is also a Mdrt member, top of the table member. And we used to talk with each other every morning about how scared we are. We used to cry. And yet we're making the top, winning all kinds of awards, but it doesn't matter. We were crying because, we knew that if we didn't get out there and help people, right, we're unemployed, right? And so no doubt, it's a tough business, right? That we are, and so going out there and tackling the world that way, I think really is what kept inspiring me to move forward. So thank you, Sakti.
So that's whatever the situation, we should be move forward. That's the answer you gave, right?
Yeah.
Thanks,
Always
Doctor. It's a wonderful answer for it, actually. So the situation, what we are feeling now as a COVID, another thing, look forward. So there'll be always the forward view, take you to next level. That's a looking forward.
Yeah, and I think that COVID is this whole situation makes us stronger, right? But you gotta look at yourself and say, why am I doing this business, right? And I always did that. Why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? Because we have the choice to do whatever we want in our lives, right, to a certain extent. And so why not choose and choose well? And if we're going to choose this business, why not choose it for the right reasons? We are here to serve others, right? Not to be served by others. And this is what I love about this business. If we're to serve others, we don't have what we want to sell as pushing us, but we have the people we want to help to nourish us. And so the fact of the matter is people need help. They need your help. They need our help, right? And so we got to be there. It's a like I said, Sakti, I think now's the time. If we don't understand it, we're never going to understand it. So why not embrace it?
Yes, that's a true. Behind now itself, we don't value the life of individuals, and I don't think would be the possibility that. Thanks for your wonderful answer, Steve. It's motivated on that. So now we're moving to third question. I think. Do you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we answered this question, Sakti. I think the next
Yeah,
slide.
I'm just taking into that question. Yeah, we're going to third question now. So, the question is the neighbor one. So Hong Kong, Jennifer is asking, can you explain what are the best practice of getting referrals and prospect?
This is the reason why we're gathered, right? It's to talk about prospecting and referrals and the consultative methodology. And I'll share bits and pieces as we go along, because I want to pay respect to the questions that have been asked by you. But I'm going to tell you that the first thing is that referrals are the best thing to do. But it's not just asking for referrals, right? It's the kind of referrals you ask for, because you get what you ask for, right? So it took me a long time to figure this thing out. If you really think about it, it's really natural. Why not ask for who you want, right? And so but is it natural for us to think about who we want, right? Because we want everybody, right? I want anybody. When I got started, I want anybody in front of me to share the story or to help them or to understand their story so I could help them. Initially, I was more selling than I was doing consulting, as I do today. So the first thing I would say is identify who your best prospects are, who are your best clients, right? Why are they your best clients? What do they do for you that turns you on, right? That makes you so happy, that brings a smile to your face, right? So I decided if I could decide when I was going to do my business, how I was going to do my business, right? Who I was going to help, the kinds of people I can help is also on that list of choices that I can make. So I better choose well. So for me, I started to think about the kinds of people I wanted to work with. And it wasn't when I first got started, it was always about, hey, who's going to be getting married or having a baby, or maybe someone that's planning for retirement or are in retirement. And you know, you ask for referrals like that. Think about it for a second. You know, who would you introduce someone to, right? Like you two, you know, that's going to try to sell them something for their retirement or for their education plan and whatnot. And I realized that wasn't such an effective way. I was probably getting 30 to 40% introductions, and that's really by begging. And then when it set up the consultation to meet these people, only about 40 or 50% would want to meet with me. And then I was selling. So what I realized was that I wanted to focus in on certain kinds of people. And so I look at attitudes, I look at the behaviors, and I looked at my own core values. And I wrote those things, what were important to me, and came up with that list in order to focus my attention on and ask for that. And I am going to repeat myself several times, but for me, the best clients were the ones that cared about their families, right? They cared about the ones that depended upon them, whether it's their families or their businesses, right? That planned, right? That also, you know, lived to their plan, executed their plans, that were of high integrity, that do the things that they say going to do exactly the way they say they're going to do it, right? Tim talked about it before. And I got to say that's what I asked for. So when I ask for a referral, I don't ask for someone who's retiring or who's, you know, rich, or I just ask people of that nature that I just shared with you, for people they respect who are like them, right? And what happens is that I receive introductions to people who are usually a step above the people who presented them to me, right? And so every day when I come in to meet a referred prospect, I'm really looking forward to it, because I know that it's going to be the kind of person I'm looking forward to being with, to hoping to even being a friend with. And I don't even think about whether I'm going to sell them or I'm not going to sell them. That's not what it's about, right? It's about getting to know them. It's about connecting with them. It's about understanding and appreciating who they are and discovering what's important to them. So I know that I'm going to do that. So I'm not going to violate that trust of that introduction or the introducer who introduced me to these people. And that's really, for me, what I found the best practices. And I will share with you how I do that in greater terms as we move along. But it's really focusing on asking for the kinds of people you enjoy working with most of all. So start with that. Think about it right now, right? Think about and put down some on the list. You know, think of your best clients. Why are they your best clients? Think of the best relationships you have. Why are they the best relationships you have? And write it down.
It's a great one. And so the best way to get up, ask for referral. That's the only way. So none of the referrals cannot come. You should ask. That's a secret behind. That is the practice, right? So I have one question this year. See, which way it works on that? So cold calling, referral marketing, which one it works on that?
Okay, so for me, when I got started, there's some questions ahead of time that I'm going to actually answer right here, is that, you know, I'm third generation in this business. I didn't want to come in this business. But the other part of it is, when I got in the business, everyone in my family was already in the business. I'm from Hawaii. If you've been to Hawaii, you know Hawaii is very small, right? It's not like some countries in the cities that you come from. And so everybody knows each other. So there was no way that I could go to the family and friends. I had to do cold calling. I had to do direct mail. I had to do advertising. I had to do advertorials. They didn't have, back in the dark ages, because I've been in the business a long time, right? They didn't have social media, the opportunities that you have today. I did everything. Ultimately, I had 13 systems three new ideas coming in. I had 7 core things that really worked for me. And then three things I was adjusting, three systems I was adjusting. All 13 systems were eventually funneled down into referrals and asking for referrals. I asked the wrong way for referrals, but that was my system because referrals still, even though I didn't ask it the right proper way, it served me best. Very, very difficult work and hard work. But it led me to be able to write 20 to 30 cases a month. And that's how I got to start, right? But ultimately, referrals are the game. And you can do that cold as well, which I'll teach you. I share a little bit more as we go.
Done for this third question. Move forward to fourth one. Thanks, Steve. So the great answer. Now we are moving to the fourth question. So we're moving to the fourth question. So how to enhance your prospect list? How to get business in pandemic situation? Jyoti from India. So that's a question.
Yeah, I think I already mentioned that. I think the pandemic situation really lends credence for asking for referrals because you're really out there to help the people. Because many people are thinking about getting their affairs in order, right? Because they don't know what's going to happen to them in this situation, right? And that's really the reality of life, as I keep saying. The other thing is that fear is a great motivator. If you really pay attention to many of the sales masters in the financial world, you'll notice that many of them focus on the power of fear, right? And I'm not a real lover of fear, right? I like security. I think life is scary enough, and that I don't have to throw things at people to make them afraid. I need to find out, however, what they're afraid of and what they're concerned about. And their concerns are going to be different from mine, right? They're going to be specific, and I need to hear that first and foremost. So ultimately, I believe in that. But how to enhance our prospect list, really for me, it's what I just shared earlier. I don't think the pandemic changes the way that we do business. I don't think it changes in terms of how we relate to one another and how we prospect. I think that how we prospect really should be based upon who we want to work with, right? Because and I'll give you the stats on that. I told you that in the past when I was asking for referrals, I'd have a system, right? There's 13 ways, right? And I'd have from as low as 0.3%, right, to of response rate, right? A closing rate as low as 20% on some of it, right? And then I'd funnel it all into referrals where I'd only get to 30% or 40%, right? From opening to closing ratios on that, right? After begging to get that 0.3% to respond to me, right? Today, or not today, leading up to today, by changing my whole format of prospecting to referrals and asking for what I want, and not asking for it based upon sales or the products and services that I'm going to sell to or provide to deal with whatever life is throwing at my prospect. My closing, when I ask for referrals, it's almost 100%. And my opening, and from that referral to actually a consultative discussion is almost 100%. And in the consultative process, it's almost 100%. So can you imagine the industry 10 prospects coming from thousands of suspects, 10 prospects to 3 in front of you, right? To actually 1 becoming a client goes away. And so what I'm sharing with you today, if you'll embrace it, I believe, especially if it really is from your core, the things that you really care about will fuel you, energize you, and take you to those closing ratios as well. So today, I don't actually do the kind of request for referrals as often as I used to. because I can't handle them, frankly speaking. And so I need to give that myself to those people that are introduced to me, and I have to have the time to be able to help them too. So now it's a balancing act. That's different. But imagine the difference, right? I don't know where you are in your life, right? In your business life. But absolutely, I never thought, never dreamed that would ever happen, right? But today, as I take new advisors to help new advisors, as I mentor new advisors, literally change their lives by helping them articulate this, right? And engage in it. But of course, you have to have a consultative methodology that matches it as well. So there are some pieces of the puzzle that we may not have enough time today to get to, but certainly, you can call me because you have Sakti, and call me at any time.
Thank you, brother, for the wonderful thing. So this answer was very nice. So what I just want to, in this particular, people now, the performer or non-performer, just blaming the pandemic. Did this stop anyway their eating habit? I don't think so. Or their daily routine did not stop. So our bread and butter to call the client, talk to the client, fix the appointment. Only thing you could not be able to go meet them in a physical mode. You have to adopt the digital system. That's the big end of the success of any financial advisor of that. So
Absolutely.
how about US? Is that system changed, or still people engage with that physical visiting and that?
Well, yeah, I think all over the world, I'm in California right now. I don't know what the news is telling you right now, but California is crazy, right? Where our infection rate, or whatever you want to call it, is just going skyrocketing. And I know that you're in many parts of the world that you've also had a lot of challenges. So we've been grounded, right? We can't go to our favorite restaurants. We can't hang out in whatever the bars or whatever you like to do. And life is different, right? But the other part of it is people are at home. They're easy to connect now. They want to have that engagement. They want to talk about their lives, right? They want to vent. They want to tell you all about the travesties that they're dealing with. People got their, schools are closed here, or not the same way. You got to do it at home. And parents can't be at the offices because they got to be, with their children. And it's a whole different world. And so for me, I just think that we've got to capture the audience. We have captured audiences, right?
Yeah.
And these are times that, think about it, right? You're right, Sakti. Those that are failing in this time, I think it's just because of the way you're reacting again, right? Making your choice. You're choosing to fail. I have the great blessing of being on the advisory board of the top of the table of Mdrt, where you have some of the very highest producing advisors in the world. And one thing that we share in common, what I notice, is everyone is having their best year ever. How is that? Are you having your best year ever? And frankly speaking, I am too. So is that because of the pandemic? No, it's because we continue to move forward. And the pandemic is helping people to think about their lives deeper. And so they're actually reaching out as well. So be there for them, be present for them. You're the ray of hope in their lives, right? You're the sunshine that amidst the clouds that are all around us. So remember that's who you are, and so step up to who you are and be that ray of sunshine for the people who need it.
So
there's a lot of
2 words. One is ask, another one move forward. So don't look back. That's what you're just saying it up. Thank you, Steve, for this particular answer, and look forward to next one. Let's see, we go to the we are coming to the final question of first section. That this some interesting question. This question was asked me in the Facebook, one of the member. Referrals are very hard to get because People are afraid. Some magic question names will be good help. Max Health India. So, Stephen, you have to give some magic question.
So the magic questions, hints. I think the magic is that there's no magic, right? And the referrals are only hard to get if you're begging for a sale. I can tell you that straight out. You beg for a sale, you're asking for somebody who's of a certain situation, it's going to be harder because just for all the reasons, if you just think about it, put yourself in the other person's shoes, right? Your friend asks you, can you introduce them to someone who, who's going to get married or whatever it is, and you're being asked that, and you know that your friend's asking because they want to sell them something. I mean, that's a tough thing already, right? So again, I'll go back to the real key point for me was I wanted to attach things to what I cared about. And so I'm going to go to it. It's my core values. It's what I believe in at the core. It's the kind of people I care about at the core. And I want to focus in on those kinds of people. So I think when you say referrals are hard to get because people are afraid, I think sometimes we're afraid as advisors to ask the question, right? To your point of ask, right? And then the other part is people are afraid when they hear the question to give you that referral, right? To introduce you to that person because they know that, or they believe you're going to try to sell them, okay? So what makes it easier is when it's not about that. When you're out there just trying to help people, right? And you want to meet certain kinds of people to help, right? I'm going to tell you that there's only been a handful of people over the thousands I've met over the years that didn't have something that I could help them with, right? That if I really spent my time to listen and hear them out, there was something that I could do for them, right? And maybe not today, but certainly tomorrow. And if I could just stay aligned with them, right? That time will come. So how we ask for referrals really should be what brings you joy, right? And what brings you, it brings you happiness to the point of success, because that's what it's really about. And that drives your day better, makes your day a lot better too, right? If you're focusing on doing things you really care about and meeting with people you like, right? And who like you too, right? Because you're setting up based upon shared values. And that's the other thing that I think is really, really important. So I think the magic is in you. The magic is in you. And the questions should be naturally from you, right? And genuine to them, about them, right? And if you can do that, and tie that together in your referral and requesting, you're going to find great success and a lot of happiness.
So the magic in you, that's what the expert says that. So until you ask, you look forward, and that's a magic questions, and you don't create it on this situation of pandemic also. You react the same questions. It does not belong to that. So this is something all the financial advisor who seeing this program, not only this one, people who essayed about the failures and other thing. This is what the experts say. It's you. You have to be focused, and you have the person has to be give solution to the customer, and every client need you.
That's right.
Am I right, Steve? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah. So now we take a break. This is something we collected some pictures. So, so let's make fun of that. So one of a picture I like to want to show you. You have to explain it what that picture and begin of the history of the picture and that. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Now let's go ahead. Yeah, this is the picture.
Oh, okay. So this is my grandfather, Lawrence Takeo Kagawa. I'm from the United States, as you will know. And if you don't mind putting it back up, putting the slide back up, Sakti, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, sure.
There's a picture within the picture.
Yeah.
And my grandfather, second generation, so he's an American, right? But it was growing up at a time of a lot of racial discord. You're seeing a lot of it on the TV right now about the United States. We have all kinds of All Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, and things like that. But back in the 30s, when my grandfather was working for a trust company in the territory of Hawaii, it was very small. We weren't a state yet of the United States. And he found that people of color, Asians like himself, could not get the same kind of life insurance policies as their Caucasian neighbors. And so that angered him. He didn't like the pricing of the policies that were provided. So he went out to seek a hero. And that picture in the picture, so if you see the small picture in the back side, is a hero that he found. He found him in San Francisco. So he got on a boat, went off to San Francisco, and met A.P. Giannini. A.P. Giannini was giving loans to small businesses and people that needed help. He was helping the immigrants. He's the son of an Italian immigrant himself. And so he's actually the founder of what became Bank of America and Transamerica Corporation, which changed hands since that time. But that was a hero that my grandfather found. They decided that we're gonna get rid of this racially discriminatory underwriting practices in the United States life insurance industry. Now, and it's 1933, my grandfather actually did that. So he's my hero. He's one of the reasons why I do what I do. He brought access and opportunity to people who didn't have it. And that's why when I shared with you about my idea of global financial navigation, I want to do the same thing. We have opportunities all over the world that are different, right? It's not better or worse from one country to the next, it's just different. And if we can bring those opportunities from other parts of the world and bring it to our world, right? Knowing the consequences and the upside potential of it all, we can really bring more blessings to the people we serve. And so that's why I chose this picture to share with all of you. Thank you, sir.
So you show the hero of hero, you showed him the hero of hero. Is that been picture? Thank you, Steve. It's a wonderful picture. I have one question, special question for you. Apart from this, I'm just asking. I takes a lot of time now. This is the time to ask you that, so I should not miss it on that. Okay. Did family so important in our professional?
Is family so important?
Yeah.
I look at the whole world as part of my family. And so I don't know how to say no to that. I mean, absolutely. I think it's all about family, whatever you mean, whatever that means to you, right? I didn't respect my family, frankly, when I got started. And it was the worst decisions I made in my life, right? I took things for granted and didn't understand the value. And I'll share a little bit more about that. Family, my business, all the people around me are my family, and the people that I serve are my family. And I always hope that people like yourselves would think of me as family. I'd love to have you over at my house. Please come and visit me. And I really mean that. So it's not, yes, family, Sakti, family is everything to me.
Great. So just want this particular questions, and I think most successful advisor I gone through for last several years, and their family, I think in team also say about that, they love the family. So you have to love your family to be a more successful person in this profession. Not only this profession, on any professional you take. So start love your family, then start love your customers. And don't love a customer much, because tomorrow you have to be some consequences you have to be, and again you have to face further. But still, jokes apart, this is the time to you to love everybody. Start doing it out loud. Thanks, Steve. Let's move forward to the program. This is a busy day. Now we are going to the 6th question now. Okay, this is one more nice question I had also from the Facebook, and most of the people hesitate to give their names of or postpone how to handle them.
It's a great question, and I think I will tie back to the last question from Max Health as well. Is that Dr. Robert Cialdini, if you haven't read his book Influence, might be a book you want to read. Dr. Cialdini spoke from the Mdrt main platform in 2006, and he talked about moments of influential power. And so, you know, the question of magical questions, I would say that there's magical moments. There's magical moments to ask for that referral. You can ask all kinds of times, but there's certain times that the opportunity is magical. And so this question of hesitation, it goes away when you're there in that magical moment. And that magical moment is what he refers to of moments of influential power. And so, and it comes from his ideas and his thought process on the principles of persuasion, right? And two of those principles that he talks, he has 6, but the 2 that I focus in on for asking for referrals are the principles of liking, people liking you, right? And the other, and you liking them. And the other part is, and more importantly, the power of reciprocity, right? Reciprocity. I give you, you give me, right? To give and take, and between people. And that power of reciprocity is so strong. He talks about one country who is impoverished, giving to another country much wealthier than that, because that country receives something from them in their time of need. And reciprocity, you think about it, when someone gives you something, right, that you feel this sense of owing, you know, and so I use that when I ask the questions, right, for referrals. My moment, the most powerful moment I know of is when someone says thank you, right? Think of that moment comes every time after we, you know, help them, right? And the natural comment is thank you. And what do we do with that powerful moment? We say, no worries. You know, it was my pleasure. And we're missing that opportunity of reciprocity. Give them a chance. We just gave to them. Give them a chance to give to us. So today, you know, I'll say something more like, you're welcome, and, right? And what? And then I told you about the values I'm looking for, the kind of prospect I'm looking for, right? And I say, and I want to thank you, you know, because it's people like you that I love to work with, you know, people that really care about the ones that depend upon them, whether it's their businesses or their families, people who plan to meet the goals that they have for these people, for others, people who live to those plans, people of high integrity, those who say what they're going to do and do exactly what they say they're going to do, exactly the way they say they're going to do it. You know, Sakti, people just like you. You know, who do you know and respect who's of that in your life? See, so that's the way I ask for referrals. And I ask it in those moments of influential power, you know? And so the liking part, right, is coming from, hey, you know, they like that fact that I see them as this kind of person, right? And so that likability connects even further from already our discussion that has led to a successful conclusion, right? And they're thanking me, and they get a chance to give to me. And that sets the stage for my great opening for my consultative process to the person that they refer me to. And so that's really, you know, I think you're going to find that when you do that, people will not hesitate. People may hesitate the first time. You have to be patient the first time. But as time goes on, they will continue to give you referrals. And as I said before, I don't ask for as many referrals today because I can't handle them. And that's because people are already referring. The same people are referring to me, right? And referring to me great people that, you know, and that my life, I don't worry about whether I'm going to have an opportunity to help people. So that's really, I think, the key point.
Thank you. It's a lovely answer for you given. Again, the question from Maria, Mexico. In your first time as advisor, how did you prospecting? And this pandemic, how you are prospecting?
So I'm sorry about the second part because I'm not prospecting today the way that I used to. But when I got started, as I told you, it was 13. I did everything. I tried everything. Anybody gave me an idea, I ran off and tried it. I don't necessarily recommend that. I think there's some pretty great ways to latch into, and I think social media is a big opportunity when you're a so-called cold calling. But I don't even know that I do that much of that today. If I were to start all over, I think I do what I'm sharing with you today. And as I asked you guys to consider, ask you all to consider, is put a list of people, right? You put a list of values that you want. Like I've shared with you how I ask the referrals, the attitudes that I want. I made it very clear in my world what I'm asking for. Now think about those traits, and think about the people in your life that you respect who are of those traits, right? That's what I would be doing today. And I would be asking them for referrals. It's genuine, right? You actually look at them as those kinds of people. Don't ask them to be your client. That's a mistake. Ask them for help, right? Ask them for introductions to people like them. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to end up being your client too, right? But it may not be the first time around. It may be years down the road. I never ask directly to help somebody that way. I just have a hard time. I really suck at that. I'm really bad at it. I have no issue asking for help, right? I have no issue asking for help of genuine value that I'm going to bring, right? When I have my focused idea of what I want made very, very clear. So that's what I'd be doing today. And I'm not doing it today because the system works so well that I don't need to.
What was your feeling of pick up the first check?
The first check?
Yeah, business check. What was your feeling for it?
Are you talking about income?
Yeah, not income. The client say okay to your proposal.
Oh, great question, Sakti. You bring back a terrible memory. I got to tell you that. I used to like writing the case so much, and my manager came to me and said, "You're writing more policies than anybody, more applications than anybody else, but you have to deliver the policy and take the check to get paid and to help the people." And I was afraid to ask for the check, Sakti. I was afraid to ask for the money, which is so silly. I have no issue asking for the money today, right? I actually tell them, if you write a check in the United States, we write checks, right? Start very far to the left and write very small to put those numbers in there. Yeah, it was a great question. It was an amazing thing. I almost wanted to tell them the first time I got a check, I almost wanted to tell them, "Are you sure?" I was so happy to get that real first sale. Great question.
Yeah. So that's very good memories that I'm just bringing back to that. That was my first check when I pick it up in the midnight. My client asked him to come, so we waited in the gates. Waited in the gates of the client house almost around 11:30. After duty, he came and he said, "Tomorrow morning, I'm flying back to some other city." So I was sitting there from the 9 o'clock. So he came only 11 o'clock. So that's I would not forgot. But the check I was picking up, the first check I was picking up. So everybody, I think, whoever they know what ought to be the first check. And today the people are getting millions of millions, but always most memorable one is the first one. And we never forgot our first client also. So it's a great memory.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great memory.
So
see, but Sakti is better than me, right? You got to listen to Sakti because, he was waiting to go and get that check. Me, I was avoiding picking up checks. And that's really weird, but anyway.
Okay, moving to next one now. Yeah. Okay. My man, Saurav is already here. So this from him actually. So due to COVID-19, the normal situation hampered. So please suggest what should be the new way of prospecting for financial advisor?
Yeah.
What is in the right way ask referral to our existing customers?
Well, you know, and thank you for the question. And I think I've told you a lot about what and shared a lot about what I would be doing. I really think that here's a chance for you to take a few days to rethink it, right? If you want to know more about and actually have a personal conversation, a more focused conversation on how to do it, I'm happy to do it because it's a really important thing, right? Is because this change. You know, you asked me the question, you know, when did you make top of the table? I mean, you know, how did you make top of the table and stuff like that? This is how, right? The change I went from, you know, Mdrt. I was fortunate because I had a vision and mission that had me easily make Mdrt without thinking. I didn't know what Mdrt was, you know, but to go to the next level, this is what it you know, helped me change. It's also taken me into different countries, right? Like Hong Kong and Japan, which are very different from the United States. I don't speak the language of my blood, which is embarrassing, but I don't speak Japanese. And so I'm really an American going into these countries to try to be of help. And so the system works, right? It took me from core to the table to top of the table, and from top of the table every year to virtually every month. So you know, it will change your life. And I really and well, the most important part of it is happiness. It'll bring you happiness and joy because you'll be talking to people that you want to talk to. And that, you know, how many people do you talk to that just wish, oh, what am I doing here? You know, why am I doing this, right? And it's so difficult, and you're trying to sell them, and they need it. You know they need it, but they don't get it. You know, they don't get how this thing helps them get what they want, right? And that's so frustrating. When you're talking about the people that you can connect with and talking to the people that you connect with and listen to them, you know, they'll know that you're on their side, and that changes everything. Of course, you know, we got to adjust sometimes our consultative process, and so that's an important point too.
So I hope Saurav will agree in that, whatever you say that. And same way applicable, Saurav, there are existing clients. I believe that ask, look forward. So you have to do with your existing client, get your more referrals on that actually. One thing I just want to share you about the existing client, what you put the right question on that. Now, this is the time you can able to send. I have a regular the person who used to come for my cleaning my home. Another thing, the member. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we are not allowing anybody now. Another thing, but after so many days, he came 2 days before. When he come, he bought some mask and given to 4 marks to my family and say that, sir, now I'm start doing this. This is your compliment. Even a cleaning man have the thoughts to bring all their client. And we are a millionaires and we are stick with this industry for so many years. You know, the way to work on existing client, satisfy them, stay with them, and make them happy. I believe
That's
that.
right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But anyway, Saurav, it's a wonderful question, and
It is.
this is a nice question, Saurav. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for asking that. So move forward, 9th one. So we have a question from Mexico. Dijigo, again, he just put it, how would you prospect with neighbors in an apartment? In a kind way and not making them feel uncomfortable. Every time you cross path after you talk to them about insurance.
so
you would have got experience out of that actually. That's a good question out of that, sir. Yeah. You know, sometimes in the beginning of my professional, I say you are an insurance advisor. The first people will see, and next day if you call them, your number would be switched off. So that's that's the way people treat you and an insurance professional. But what I'm saying is, don't hesitate. But I think Stephen will give that actually. Stephen, I think you enjoy the question, right?
Well, yeah, these are such great questions, right? Because it brings me back to years ago, and you know, I probably wouldn't prospect in my apartment. That'd be a good starting point. But yeah, you know, in terms of selling, but I think that's really the key point. Number one is, you know, first of all, you got to believe in what you do, right? You know, think about yourself and what you do and why you do it. Are you just trying to make a living, or are you trying to help people to live life better, right? If what you're doing is help people live better lives, then you have nothing to be ashamed of, right? If you're just trying to sell them something, you should be ashamed. You should be worried, right? And so maybe it's the first thing is to look inside ourselves and to make sure you're positioned right in your business, right? That you're out there to help them, right? And you really mean to help them. And that way you don't have to put your head down ever. The other part is that when you ground yourself with that beliefs and through your beliefs, really what happens is that you start to be genuine. There's no reason why you need to take anything personally, right? It's just someone's comment or someone's thought process, and just avoiding is not the way to do it. The better way is to confront it, right? You know, because if you are full of love, right, and you want to share that love and give it away, because that's what you want to receive, right? Reciprocity, right? And abundance. A lot of us know about abundance, right? We have to nourish the world so that the world will nourish us, right? And the fact of the matter is, if you're of that, you have nothing to fear. And so I would say to you that, you know, if you've talked to them about insurance and they're running away from you, then you probably sold them. You probably need to reposition yourself so that you're not there imposing life insurance on people, you know, trying to get them to buy, right? Their lives and what they want in their lives already say they need it, right? They need it to get what they want. But let them tell us what they want, right, first, and then we can tell them about insurance and why they need it to help them get to what they want. And I think that's it's really a key point. If you can adjust that, your reputation will change because of the relationships, experiences of the people in those apartments, right? And so when they cross paths, they'll be looking forward to saying hello to you and bragging to you about how they're ahead on their plans or whatever it might be, and thanking you, or maybe even giving you referrals. So it starts with us, right? It starts with us and how we position ourselves and how we look at our world and how we look at what we do, right? I started off ashamed, and I'll share a little bit more with you on my next chance in the next picture. But absolutely important point.
Nice one. So moving to the 10th one. We are heading to the 10th one now. So part number 2, now I'm completing the last question of part number 2 now. It's Nita from India. How do you convince a client sometimes after a long follow-up and documentation completed also? Many clients the separated family once accepted, then they back up.
Yeah, don't they? So, and that for me was solved in the way I do my consultations. So give you another person to consider looking at is Bill Backrack. Bill Backrack is all over the industry sharing about the trusted advisor. And what I took away from Bill is that, you know, I wanted to create trust on purpose. And that's what he taught me. And the way that people, you know, trust you is if you ask the right questions. You got to ask them questions, right? And if you find out what's important to them, right, first, then and discover what's important to them, right? There's going to be a natural tendency for them to trust you. But there's another thing, right? So there's a discovery. It's called a discovery process to find out what's important to the person in front of you. Now, you're not going to be doing anything with life insurance and whatnot unless what's important to them calls upon life insurance, right? So let's say that they're saying, yeah, I want to make sure that my children have the lifestyle that they're enjoying right now, even if, you know, it doesn't well, let me back up. So, you know, we want to discover what's important to them so that we can stay focused on them and what's important to them. And we ask them, well, so what's important? I'm sorry, I was saying what's important, or the person says, I'm sorry. The person says, I want to make sure that my kids are okay. Well, already, if you think about that, you know, their kids are 5 years old and 7 years old. They're totally dependent financially upon the parent, right? So we know that life insurance is needed, right? To replace them financially anyway, just in case, right? Something happens, right? And life hits them. And if we do this within the consultative process, and the reason why we're filling out the forms is that it's helping your prospect do or accomplish what's important to them to accomplish, you know, everything's going to work out right. They're going to remember that, but you got to remind them. So after I've completed discovery, so I've asked all these questions, and the person says, you know, yeah, what's important is I want to make sure that my kids are cared for in the event that, you know, I should pass away prematurely. Then of course life insurance is needed, right? If in fact it can qualify, right? As time goes on, and of course, you know, we have buyer's remorse, and right, people have second thought and all that kind of stuff. I always go back to reminding them, right? So the first thing that I do every time that I talk to them is, hey, I just want to make sure that we're still on the right track, you know, that nothing's changed in terms of what's important to you, right? In terms of what happens to your finances. So I'll go back to that comment and repeat to them what they told me was important to them. And then it goes back to, and at the end of the day, you're most concerned about you prematurely passing. And then there's not that lifestyle that your kids are so used to. And you want to make sure that's there, right? So let me tell you where your paperwork's at. And I'll say something like that, right? So I'll start off always with what was important to them, the reason why they chose to do this, right? And then I'm really helping them out. You know, I'm the laboring oar. I'm just there to help them out to do the things that they just don't get right off the bat, right? So that's what's, you know, that's how I deal with it.
Yeah. Okay. So we got a wonderful answer for that. So we done halfway mark. We are done. We done 10 questions now. We are gone halfway mark now. This is now you can have some relaxation, Steve. So I'm just going to show the next picture for you.
So as you're putting the picture up,
yeah,
I'll start since I know that time is ticking away.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more questions. So when I was, I'm third generation in the business, and I never knew that we were even in the life insurance business. When I found out that my family was in the life insurance business, oh my goodness! But I was also the first son, and as in Asian cultures, first son should be carrying on, you know, the torch. And there was no way I was going to be in this business. I was not going to be a life insurance salesperson until I met this lady. I was actually going through internship as a spoiled child. And this lady who was teaching me, and she invited me to her home, and she told me the story of how some guys came and knocked on the door and tried to sell herself and her husband some life insurance. And she said, you know, after they spoke to us, I told my husband, a proud man, a boxer, hey, you know, you're not going to actually buy life insurance from them, right? We got a great life. Our family's doing well. We have a new home. We have a business that's doing well in the garment district. Our kids are healthy. We're healthy. Why do you want to buy something that you got to die to benefit from? And she said that for 2 weeks, they kind of argued about it. And then we kind of stopped, and she thought it was over until one morning he said, hey, honey, I'm not, you know, I know you don't have to buy any, you don't have to get any, but I'm going to buy some of that life insurance. And what happened shortly thereafter was that, you know, this guy was a proud man, a boxer. They owned a business in the garment district of Los Angeles, and a rough neighborhood. And some guys came over to them and asked for money in return for the protection. And because the husband was a tough guy, he said, you know, thank you, but no thank you, we're okay. And he was shot dead. And so you know, you can imagine, she said, when all was said and done, that life insurance saved my life. He said I was able to keep the lights on. I was able to keep the company going, to pay our employees. I was able to stay in the same home that we were in. I got to mourn and spend time with my children. I could decide what I was going to do next. It saved my life. She said, it's people like your parents and your grandparents who are the heroes of my life. And it's people like you, Stephen, who question the products and services, the practices of life insurance people that need to stay in the business to protect people like me. And so at an early age, I'm so fortunate she saved my life. And the next thing I did was I ran out, I got my license in California. I was already licensed in Hawaii. I got my license at 18 years old. And I set up shop. I didn't, and I asked for every single mother. I said, if you have a single mom, a single mom, or you are a single mom, you need to talk to me. And I asked them 2 questions. Who's going to take care of your daughter if something happens to you in life? And number 1 answer was mom. I said, okay, great. You have the support system of family. What are you doing to provide financially for mom if something does happen? You're not going to leave her with the burden of the child plus financial burden, right? And then I said, here's an option. I didn't know that life insurance, you're not going to believe this, guys. I didn't know that life insurance came with a commission. So I started to help people. And 3 months later, I got this check in my inbox because I was interning at an insurance company. And the check was 10 times my regular paycheck. And I thought it was my boss's paycheck. Bottom line, you all know the story now, right? Is that it was my commissions. I hadn't gone to commissions yet. I had no idea that I was just so passionate about trying to help because all I could think of was Kathy and her kids and what would happen if Kathy died, right? Father died, yeah. But what happens if Kathy dies? The kids are so young. So I want to share with you sort of a picture. This is not Kathy and her kids, but it sure is representative. It kind of looks like her and her kids at the time, but it saved my life.
Wow. It's a great one, Steve. Okay, nice to hear about this particular story and the lovely 2 kids. I think it stands our job. I think you've done a great job to get that. Yeah.
Thank you.
So now move forward for our next one, 11th question. Yeah, it's from Mexico again. Margita is asking about how do you do for not forget ask referral?
Yeah.
How do you find new people in your business? Yeah.
Thank you. So I put it as part of my consultative process. So at the end and it's not at the beginning, it's not in the middle. I ask for referrals every time at that moment of influential power. That moment, that person says, thank you. And I say, you're welcome, right? So I've just implemented something. I've just given them the policy, reminded them why we bought it, right? Why they bought it, what was important, what they said was of importance to them. And I always get, Steven, I want to thank you, right? And don't miss the moment. So when that moment comes, I'm always waiting for that moment, for that thank you. Sometimes you don't get it. And I'm, oh boy, but every time I get it, it's my chance to say you're welcome and, right? Give them the chance to reciprocate. So in my consultative process, at the end, when I'm delivering the policies, when I'm delivering whatever it is to the plan, it might be the first part of the plan, it might be the second, it might be the last. The right time, when that moment comes, right? When you know that connection is there, don't give it up. And I ask, so you're welcome. And I really enjoy working with people like you, people who care about their families and the ones that depend upon them. People who plan and execute a plan. People who do what they say they're going to do exactly the way they say they're going to do it. People of integrity, people like you. Who do you know and respect who are of that mindset and of that way? And I just quiet and I wait. And I always get a great referral. It's an amazing thing because they're not thinking of who's going to get married or who's going to get, who's planning for retirement or who's worried about something in life, right? They're just thinking about the people they respect and that they care about and the people that think about it, the people that will respect you as well, right? For who you are. And so I put that in my process, and that's become the machine that created the wealth of opportunities that I've been so blessed to enjoy.
Great one, great one. Or you just talking about that other thing. So the best way to follow up for this referral, before completing the case or handovering anything, say thank you. The way as the referral. That's it. Good one. Yeah. So moving it to 12th one now. Okay, again, it's Nita Nair from India. What is the connection that you make with the prospect when you meet him in the first time?
So Nita, that's a great question, right? So because it actually ties into the consultative process. So imagine you just heard how I asked for it, right? How I asked for the referral. So now the referral comes to my office, and I'm excited because I get to open up the meeting with this, right? You know, Sakti, I've been really excited, anxious to meet you, right? And the reason is that, you know, I was talking to Jim, and when we were completing his plans and whatnot, we're just, I was asking about the people he respects the most, you know, people that he knows really care about the ones that depend upon them, whether it's their businesses. You're hearing the questions again, you see it? Right? I'm repeating it all over again. The business or the family, right? Who plan and execute to plan, who do the things they say they're going to do exactly the way they say they're going to do them. People of integrity. I asked, you know, who do you look up to and respect? And the first person that Jim came up with was you, Sakti, right? Imagine the moment right there, right? That's my opening. You know, it doesn't matter. Maybe it was, you know, people chit chat and whatnot, but I am ready for that first thing. And then I'm going to ask, you know, tell me what's, you know, what might be pressing on your mind if there's anything, right? I start with a question like that, and I go right into and say, you know, but, you know, before we go too far, I just want to tell you how excited I am to meet you, you know? And so it's a great kickstart, and that's how I connect with a prospect. And if I do my job right, so I said what I'm going to do is discover, right, what's important to the person I've been introduced to. And I am going to tell them my process, but the next thing I'm going to do is ask them a whole lot of questions to learn about them. If I've done that right, then what's going to happen is Sakti's going to go to Jim and say, hey, Jim, thanks for introducing me to Steven. Or Jim's going to go to Sakti and say, how did it go, Sakti? And Sakti hopefully will say, yeah, it was pretty good, man. But Sakti already feels great about Jim because now he sees that Jim sees him in a great way. So their relationship is better, right? And that means that's a good thing to Jim, and Jim's excited and happy with me for uplifting his relationship with Sakti. And so my chance for getting another referral, maybe even a better one, is great. And so that's how it tied in. It's the beginning. And it's the end, it's beginning with the end of my consultative process to the beginning of my process.
Great one. So keep out to do it regularly on this connecting process on that. Yeah. So moving forward, another question now. Yeah. We go for 13 one now. Yeah, Mandy, Mexico, she asking, this is a wonderful question. How many prospects do you need per week in order to become a COT?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're looking at reaching for higher levels. If you're, you know, at the Mdrt level and looking to the core of the table, you know, I think you can do the math, right? Meaning that when I got started, people say you have to have a certain number of people you see. It's based upon the income that you get per case that you close, what's your closing ratios, and you can do the math. So for me to answer that question for you is not appropriate, right? Because I don't know what your business is like, and I don't know what your average case size is. For me, I never really looked at it that way. When I first got started was help as many people as I possibly could. So I didn't look for how many did I need to get there. I looked at how many could I handle, And so I decided that I would spend 3 days of every week all with the clients. You know, I'd book up the entire day because we have people, you know, they cancel or whatever. I double booked. And I did it in my office to double book so I could, with my assistant's help, go back and forth. And so I didn't worry about how much money I was making. I worried about helping as many people as I could. Today, that's not the case, right? Today, I'm looking for a certain kind of person, right? I'm asking for a certain kind of person with certain kind of values, right? But as soon as you put the word in respect, people you respect, most people are looking above them. They're looking at people that might have more assets or more complicated situations. They're thinking about people who are leaders and whatnot, right? And so that also will help you lift up to quarter of the table beyond. So my recommendation would be, what can you handle? And most importantly, what is your target market and what are you really trying to do, right? And the answers will come through that process.
Great one. So the same principle applicable on TOT also, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I don't think somebody would not ask a question on same. Ramli, Thailand, there's a question from Thailand. So can you explain what was your daily routine work on prospecting? When was your first TOT happen? Wow, it's a memory teaching.
Yeah.
And
So yes.
what is your daily routine, Steve? Tell me.
What was my daily routine? So it was all about prospecting. In fact, I spent 60% of my time initially prospecting. When I look back on it, I would have started off. I should have started off with 80% of my time, but I really need to learn the business as well, right? You got to study and know what you're talking about. So I would say the 60-40 rule has been wasn't bad. And as I share with you, I started off doing everything and anything, and 13 systems was when I made top of the table the first time. Was when I had 13 purposeful systems going on, leading to my referral requests. Making top of the table on a regular basis came after refining that to asking for the kinds of people I really wanted to meet, and get rid of all the ones I just didn't want to deal with. Life is too short, you know. Choose well. But my first top of the table was 20 years ago. I missed top of the table 1 year. It was after the 2008 crash. Actually, I went with 18 months without a single sale, believe it or not. And that's not true. I had some small things, but relatively speaking, you know, I made quarter of the table. I missed top of the table by a little, but actually I was spending my time taking care of people and unwinding what was happening to my company, which was just falling off a cliff. So because my focus is global financial navigation and nobody wanted to do anything with anybody from Wall Street. And that's how they looked at me being from the United States. But 20 years ago was my first, and so 19 of the last 20 years has been as a member of Top of the Table.
It's a great memories for you. How you to feel it when you have been a first TOT member? You say, yeah, I mean, we get TOT on that.
It's funny, you know. It's funny that you say that. Yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me? I was so proud to have the badge, right? You know, it's really, if I think about it now, it's like, who cares, right? But that moment you make it the first time is like, you know, you got to celebrate. You have to celebrate, because I knew that I made it because I was helping people better. And that was the difference, right? I was helping people better and helping people more. And now with my badge, I could help other people, you know, who'd come to me at the meetings, and I could share with them my simple ideas that you've been hearing over and over again relative to prospecting as an idea, as one point, right? I keep saying the same thing because it's really not that magical, right? It's simple. It's not easy. It's simple, right? So I'm sticking to that. But yeah, you're right. It was exciting.
Yeah. So thanks for sharing that, Steve. Sort of moving to, I think, the good question. I think a lot of memories taken from Thailand or Ramali. Thank you for the question. So
Yes.
Waiting, coming to the last question of section. Yeah, this is my favorite question again. Again, it's from Roslyn, Philippines. How was your experience working as a MDRT voluntary member? Will voluntary increase your business and referral?
Absolutely, yes. Volunteering is a key to being engaged. Your MDRT members, or if you're an aspirant to MDRT, volunteer. I took a long time to volunteer, and I really regret it. What does volunteering do for you in terms of increasing business and referrals? They do both. It increases your business because the people around us have so much to share. Right now on this webinar, there's so much power, right? There's so many amazing ideas, experiences to share, and I learn every time I speak to people, and so being a volunteer gets you engaged with those that also have gone through the trials and tribulations and have made it. In the United States, we know that 86% of those that start in the financial world as advisors are out after 3 years, right? So only 14% of us remain. And then you got that percentage above it that makes $1 million roundtable and beyond. We're surrounded by the survivors and the guys thriving, right? So what a great way to build your business better, to shape it better. And that's why I go to everything. I didn't miss a single meeting. Last year I got a gift because I went to every meeting. And because it was the first global conference, I went to the U.S. Edge meeting. I went to the annual meeting. I went to the top of the table meetings, and did all those meetings, and tried to volunteer in every single thing. And that's how I got to meet Sakti. Think about it. I would not have the blessing to share today, to feel your energy and your love, if I did not meet Sakti. And we're all there trying to help each other. And that's what led me to serving on committees all over MDRT. And then what a shock when I get invited to be on a committee for Top of the Table, and then to serve on its advisory board. I am so honored to represent the members of Top of the Table and the members of $1 Million Roundtable. And it's because of volunteering that I get to rub shoulders with all of you brilliant people. And so thank you for giving me that.
Thank you. I never forget those moments. Today, people know me around the world because of this volunteer work, and people know me, and we connected different countries, and we crossed the borders for that. I think, not only in the MDRT, or not only into or thing. I think you want to be most successful in your life, be a volunteer in your professional and your personal life also. So that's a key I learned about that. Keep saying that I do help for other members. So one word from Steve, and I'm inspiring your last 15 questions again. I want help more people. So that's a success begin any TOT member now. So that's a mantra. Everybody who listening to this particular program, I want help everybody. So this is the time. Thanks, Steve. That's the thing I'm taking to my mind. So now we're coming to the end of the third section. I want to showing a beautiful photo. I think I love this photo, so I'm sharing this one. So, wow. Such a cute kid. So what's the story behind on this photo, Steve?
Yeah, thanks for letting me share something personal. So now you get to see my bald head in a t-shirt, and holding my baby boy. So this is as you can see, it's in the COVID world. This is a month ago in North Carolina. I live in Southern California today. I'm from Hawaii, but I live in Southern California today. And his name is Gojira. Gojira is, as you know, if you may know Godzilla, Japanese Gojira. And because he's a Great Pyrenees, he's going to grow to be 150 pounds. He's only 8 weeks in this photo. And I had to actually fly to North Carolina and I had to drive him back 2,600 miles to Southern California. And so what I wanted to share with you, I share with you my family 3 generations ago, how I got started in the business. I'm a 4th generation American. And then I share with you why I stayed in the business, because of somebody caring enough about me, Kathy and her kids, to straighten me out about what life insurance did in her life. And now I'll tell you why I live, right? And why the business is so important to me today, to be able to share my life of joy and happiness with joy and happiness like I have in my arms, my Gojira. So I want to share with you the pride and joy, but you might get tackled when you come over and visit me by a big fluffy dog. So thanks, Sakti, for allowing me to share.
It looks so pretty on his face. I love this dog. So one more question, Steve. Moving to the next one. That these I want to ask how you structure your week, and what are the hobbies you do? Do you give any concerns for your health concerns? And what are the hobbies you keep maintaining? Be a successful advisor on that. So what are the daily routine kind of things you do it on? What is this? How this day would be? How the week would be?
That's a great question. Today, I'm forgetting his name. I think is James Veach, who does no, it's not. Maybe not. Who does Miracle Morning? I'm sorry, I'm going to probably misstate the person's name. So I love if you get a chance, take a look at what a Miracle Morning is about. My day starts off with gratitude. I wake up thankful that I'm alive, right? But also grateful for the day ahead, for the opportunities I've been given. So I take a moment for that. I am also, a man of faith. So I do a little prayer and a thanks. I take time to study a little bit, to learn something, and then I go and walk dogs in the morning. So early in the morning, go walk dogs, feed and walk dogs, and then make my way to wherever I gotta be. It's life to me. The whole business, everything is integrated in. I made decisions in my life to make my world revolved and centered in the industry that I love. The people I love come from this industry, and why not make my best friendships? Why not surround myself with the heart and soul of those that share the same heart and soul and cares that I have? And so it makes it even easier for me to make this the whole of my life. Because when you're an entrepreneur, like all of us are, the day doesn't begin and end, right? The day is forever. And Sakti is a perfect example of forever, right? You text him and you email him and he responds no matter what time of the day it is. It's amazing to me, and I'm not saying that it should be that way, but certainly I think that this business is part of my life and my life is part of this business. And so it starts and ends that way each and every day. Thank you about the hobbies. Yeah, the walking is because I didn't care for myself before. I'm still a large man, but I'm a good 130 pounds less than I used to be. I was 360 pounds, and that was not going to allow me to live a great life or to share a good life. And it's not the proper disciplines either, especially when I'm one who really truly believes in discipline. I went off the cliff on that, didn't I? So thank you for asking for that. So have a disciplined life, come up with a structure to make your day something of real joy. I start off with the day the way I do, because I cannot have a bad day no matter what happens when I started off with the right stuff, right? The things that energize me. Because in order for you to energize others, you've got to be energizing yourself first. And that's the other thing. We always are looking to please others. Begin with pleasing yourself. It's impossible to please everybody, right? So if we can focus in on pleasing ourselves so that we can be even better for others, maybe we can help please others even more.
I admire with that what you're saying. I just with your lovely smile. So that's a key success begin. So we have to can't please everybody. At least we have to please ourselves. So we should be heroes ourselves first. So I think the key successful for any financial advisor or any person, the habits, systems, and you have to be systematically, they have to keep it on that. Thanks for sharing, and moving forward, the last program now. So let's go. We are moving to 16th question now. Yeah. So how you take big failures or success in your life? Did you ever find any difficult times in your life, in your business? How you overcome? Batma Priya from India.
Wow. I have so many failures in my life. If I counted them, I run out of fingers, toes, and if I had hair, I'd run out of hair too. I think it's all about moving forward, right? It's really, life is a dance when I look at it. You know, sometimes you move 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. You know, well, hopefully at the end of the day, you've moved more than you have fallen back. What is, you know, really who we are is defined by what happens when we are set back, right? You know, what we are inside of us, the grit that you have, the determination and resilience. I had it rough. Most of what I had rough was because of my choices. I'm a college dropout, not a good choice, right? I didn't care about my family, what they were doing, not a good choice, right? I mean, you start with those failures. Then I found success. I wanted to help everybody. And suddenly I started making a lot of money. And because I was trying to do big things across the ocean, right? And trying to focus on ultra high net worth and forgot my path, right? Lost my way. And then I went off a cliff. What do I mean by that? Well, I started getting big cases and I was feeling like the man, right? And then the financial travesty of 2008 hit us and nobody wanted to deal with the United States. And suddenly after 16 years of 31% annual revenue growth, every year, annualized revenue growth, 31% for 16 years, I went to zero, right? For 18 months, I had to claw my way back and find my way back and remind myself that's because I lost my way. I was here to help more people and I needed to suck it up and do the right things right. That's what brought me here. And that's what would save me again. And so that's how I overcame it. I went back to my fundamentals, my foundational thing, caring about what others care about, focusing on what's important to them. I asked for referrals, right? Referrals to people that I wanted to hear. And everyone, I'm going to tell you right now, I was told that claim bankruptcy saved the day, and I didn't. But I was a zombie, what they call a zombie, where you're really worthless. And yet I was making top of the table, worthless and making top of the table. And I said, no, my life is worth something. And the world would provide. And guess what? Best year ever, right? We're back on that track. 10 companies now, focused even in your worlds, right? To help to coordinate and connect with people like you to help the world better. And it's because of that resolve. So you only fail when you quit, right? It's just like someone loses money right now because of the stock market. They're only losing it on paper. They only realize it if they quit, right? And so that's really a key point in overcoming. It's inside of you to overcome it. Thanks for asking a great question.
So emotionally, Steve, I like the way you responded on that. Do you ever cried?
Do I ever cry?
Hmm.
I cry. Yeah, I'm a crier. You know, I cry. Sakti, I cried after you invited me to join this. I was so filled with joy. You know, right now I'm bringing tears to my eyes. I'm a very emotional person. As you can feel my passion. You know, I'm just who I am. I've stopped trying to be someone else. I've stopped trying to be someone I'm not. I'm a passionate, loving person. I'm a ding-a-ling. I'm naive. I do stupid things. You know, I have to laugh at myself, and that's why my smile's on, because I've always got to laugh at myself. You know, because I do so many stupid things. You know, but yeah, thanks for that. I cry a lot.
I believe that person cry from heart. He the luckiest person in the world, because the heart gets clean up. like what we have in highs. So the most powerful person in the world, the person who cry in the spot, and he clear up all the things in the world, move forward. That's what you are talking. I think now we have moved forward into next question now. Okay, let's go it up.
Before, as you get to Satya, you bringing that up, I spoke at Top of the Table the first time, and 2 weeks before I spoke, and I spoke on global financial navigation, and 2 weeks before I spoke, my wife died, and I talked about, she was from Korea, and I talked about her and how it related to her, and I lost it and cried in the middle of my talks. So yes. You know, I cry a lot.
Sorry, I taken more emotional on you. Sorry for that.
No.
It's life, right? So
that's right.
Yeah. So move forward. So moving forward, our 17th question. It's Mickey, Vietnam. What do you recommend a new advisor like me to generate leads and prospect? Can this right professional as my youngsters?
Absolutely. I think when you're young, it's the best time to be doing it, because you can help people who are young as well, right? To do the right things so that it's not so difficult when they get older, right? Because we are going to get too old, and we need money, right? We need income to replace our income, the income that we work for, right? We can't work for money anymore. Money's got to work for us. And so by starting young is a great thing. So keep the faith, number one. Number two is pay attention to the other things that I've shared already. I don't want to repeat it again. I say, come up with your values, the people that you want to visit with, and look to the people you respect and ask them for help. And especially when you're young, people are going to want to help you. You know, ask for it. They're going to help you. Keep the faith.
Thanks. So this is the right professional for youngsters. So that's what Steve will say. So look forward for that actually. So thanks, Mickey, for Vietnam. Okay, next Christina from Hong Kong. What is the big motivation all these years to become TOT? And will you recommend any learning courses to be successful advisor?
Yeah. Hey, I remember sitting in the back of the room at my first Mdrt, way up on the stage. I didn't even know what TOT meant. Everybody who walked on the stage, I was just mesmerized by. They had some great idea, or I just sopped it up. I got to tell you that I never actually really thought I'd make top of the table. I was just trying to help more people, and that's not what you want to hear. I was elated and excited when I made top of the table, and then I expected it of myself as a bar, right? Because the only thing that could give me the indication of whether or not I was doing right by people was how well I was doing financially, and how many people I was helping, right? Those two factors. And so top of the table became a lot more important once I made it. But what I was just trying to do is I was too busy learning. I'm too busy trying to adopt people's ideas and adapt it to myself, to be a better version of myself. That's what Mdrt taught me, right? Is that, I need to suck it up, right? And learn. And learn from others about how important life is, and how to look at life to make life better, to keep things in perspective, to share that better perspective with other people as well. Now, having said that, recommend any learning courses to be a successful advisor. I'm sorry, because I don't know in your countries, what's available. In our country, in the United States, in my country, I have I looked at, and I have a designation called the LUTCF, which is Life Underwriter Training Council Fellow, and FSS, which no longer exists, which is Financial Services Specialist. For me, these are industry organizations that have put this together. I found the FSS much better than CFP, as an example, for me, because it taught me how to look at a prospect's situation. It taught me how to position myself. It taught me how to think, right, and deliver. And so anything that can help you become the trusted advisor. That's the other one that I share with you. The trusted advisor with Bill Backrack that you could call on would be a good one. As a business practitioner, I'm a business enterprises. So I love Gino Wickman. Gino Wickman has a book called Traction. And he talks about the entrepreneurial operating system. So if you're trying to take your business into something much larger, they will have a lot of different opportunities from there. And of course, I share with you Dr. Robert Cialdini to help you with influencing others, right? To know when the moments of power are there. And then Simon Sinek is another one, right? To make sure that you are focusing from the inside out, not from the outside in. You're not selling your products to people. You're listening to people and finding out what they want in life. And the products become something they need to help them get there. So those would be the ones that I would jump on.
Good one. So I think it's the correct answer what you given for this particular thing. So learning never stops. So to be a successful person. So adding the last two more questions now. Okay, I think Rajni also is there in the Zoom. I think what would be the right time to ask for referral from the customers? How to ask the right question for referral and maximize our conventions?
Right, so Rajini, so I hope that I've answered the question already, right? And again, I'm happy to, if you want my help, a little help, I'm happy to help you shape it. But really, it's really, what I shared with you, what I've asked is not what you should be asking for, right? You've got to ask for what you really want to have. And so that's really the key point. So remember reciprocity, the chance to give them a chance to give back to you. And that's really, I hope that I gave you some ideas of how it maximizes the opening and closing of your conversations and the relationship that you have with the person that's giving you the referral, right? And that's really the power, right? If you can exalt that relationship with the person that's giving you referrals, they're going to keep giving you more and they're going to give you better ones. And that will just continue to grow and your life will be better for it.
Thank you. Hope Rajni will accept that. So we are coming end of the Q&A and there's a last question now. Yeah, Lucia from Indonesia. So she asked how you make a call to your new client. He's a high net worth client and your friend who's given the referral client detail don't want to mention his name. How you deal with the situation? I think that most of us will have the situation and they say that don't mention my name and don't even talk about me who I am given the name and not even tell him about my initial also. That's the questions will be there. So
I mean, I think most of us had that issue, right? I certainly had that issue. Today, I don't. I just don't deal with it. And that's really the simple answer. And life is too short. I said it before. You decide how to make your life a joy, right? And going through that kind of process, dealing with that sort of setup is not really helpful to you. You might as well cold call that person, right? Think about it, because that's basically what you're doing, right? I think that's a really, really hard way to do it. So I rather do it the way that I've shared with you. And that way you don't get this kind of reaction, right? You don't get that kind of reaction from the person because they're eager to give it to you, right? They're giving back to you at that time, and you're not asking for somebody who's rich or somebody who's famous or somebody who, those kinds of things. When you ask for people like I'm asking of respect, it always moves up, and that naturally as you do it day after day, you start to deal with the who's who in the world. Today, the kinds of people that get introduced to me are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. It's amazing. I never asked for it, right? But they keep thinking that that's what I want. And that's the kind of, and these are the kinds of people, and I shouldn't say hundreds of millions because it could be tens of millions, or five, even a several million, but they're people of worth, whether it be financial worth or spiritual worth or some kind of value. And that's always fun to meet, no matter what kind of value it is, right? So that's what, that's, and people want to brag and introduce you to people that they know when it's of that kind of nature, rather than something that's inspired by a sale, right? A potential sale. So just divorce yourself from that stuff, right? Set yourself above it, right? And life will change.
Thank you. Thank you. I was impressed with your questions answer, and I completed my 20 questions. So before I'm winding up, I want to show one last photograph, the memories of Miami.
Hey!
There where we have met and become a very brothers, and you are one of the mentor. I think today our WhatsApp groups or anything we've been started with this particular thing. I learned a lot of things on the Miami where we have worked together, and I think there unfortunately we could not forget any memories over there. And maybe due to COVID, we missed all this NIM meeting and all those things being virtually. But still, memory stands, and only the bodies are laying other side. Our souls and hearts still lie there, each parts, and I'm missing each one of them in the moment. It's a wonderful program, and the program was being designed in such a way. Why I just, a lot of people are asking this, what we differ from normal webinar. This is not a webinar what we are doing it. This is something we want really the people who are there in the field, who wants to give the answers. It does not have. So did I write a sugar? Then I can't taste the sugar of taste until I have to taste the sugar. So that's the key aspect begin. So the format of this one, I don't want to give all the questions to myself. These questions, we ask it, the questions around the world, it in Facebook, we are on WhatsApp. I think most of them here in the webinar, I send personal message to them. So they interested. Now, the concept of these programs go higher and higher. So finally, before I'm going to the question answer, I'll just tell you that who's hero? I'm just putting this question to all of you. Who's the hero? Who the hero is none other than come and save the world, save the people. Same way, all our TOTs or all our members who are seeing in this particular posts are heroes. They know what to do, how to get the business done. They know what is the best practice they are doing it. They know what is the thing. I'm just the mailer. I'm just bringing them to system with my brand. I just keep it the learning center. So this is something you people will learn. And this video will sustain for years in YouTube. Maybe in after 1 year, you finding some questions, you get answer. Maybe you can go and watch this video and Stephen will give you the same reply on that, right? So it is a reference, and I'm just interviewing the heroes around the world on COVID time. So I'm very proud of that. Stephen, it's a wonderful program, and I could not take off my eyes, and I could not want to miss your smiles and again and again. Thank you so much. I think it's up to you how you like the program. This is the format of program.
I thought it was fabulous, and I want to thank you for allowing me to share. You're my hero, Sakti. Thanks for doing what you're doing because we need it. I wish I had it when I was starting off in the business, when I was trying to make my way, and but you have it. So take advantage of it. So thank you so much for allowing me to share.
Thank you. Now, friends, I'm just opening the floors. You have any questions, take out the mute and ask you, Stephen, for the particular question. So we will have other 5 minutes. So you can have question and answer sections will be there. Hi, Saurabh.
Hi. Thank you, brother. Wonderful
Thank
program.
you.
Steve, I want to ask you one small question.
Please.
Your answer was awesome. It's a great learning for financial planner like me. just refer me 5 books which will actually improve my life as a financial planner, as a financial advisor.
I'm sorry, was that a question?
No, he's asking, can you refer 5 books?
Oh, 5 books. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My hearing, I'm sorry, but I have anyway,
So
your issue.
5 books to
5
increase
books.
increase your life, right?
5 books which can actually improve my life as a financial planner.
Yeah, improve his life as a financial planner.
So I gave you 3, I think, so far, right? Trusted Advisor by Bill Backrack, Influence by Dr. Robert Cialdini, Gino Wickman's Traction, which is he talks about the entrepreneurial operating system. Those would be 3 that I would say are key to my life, and what I'm doing today as a or what's integrated into today. I'll say I'll just plug myself that I'm going to have a book. So when that comes out one day, and I'm serious. I'm actually launching a book called Aloha Financial Advising. So hopefully by the end of the year, there's issues right now, but it'll come out. It'll share a lot of the things that I do and how I do things, and hopefully that'll be helpful to you. Because that's a reflection of all the things the kinds of things that I've learned. I think the key point though is you might want to join a book club, because I'm just giving you the ones that really have. I also use Good to Great, but I don't know that's helpful to you, and some other books like that. But a book club, especially with an MDRT group, it's a lot of fun, right? You read the same book. You come up with a bunch of questions and you share, your ideas for an hour or 2 hours, maybe a month after reading the book or a month after starting the book. I just joined one, that I'm involved with, actually with Tim Claremont, and the book Influence actually was brought up. This is actually today while we're having this conversation, they're having their book meeting. I got to tell you that's really been the most helpful, because what it does is it takes the information that you might get some bits and pieces as you read it and listen to it, if you're doing audio, and then people take it into real life, and you can hear other perspectives, right? Other advisors' perspectives and how they're going to use it, and you can say, that's not for me, or this is awesome, right? Because you got to pick and choose, right? So that's really what I would do. Great question.
Thank you very much, and I'll eagerly wait for your book.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, any more questions, friends?
This is together in Bangalore.
Sir, Ramesh, yeah.
Hi, Shakti, this is Ramesh here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the webinar. It's a wonderful experience.
Thank you, Ramesh.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Was there a question? Okay.
I think there's a network issue. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Okay. So there is any questions there, guys? Can ask. So it's almost late in India.
Late.
Shakti, can I take a minute?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, sure. Welcome.
Yeah. So it's an honor to be in this event. Thank you so much, Stephen. What an amazing way to live life. Very happy to be here. Thank you so much, Shakti, for letting us have a glimpse of what is possible in life and the way he has lived his life and contributed to people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
And
Thank you, Lindsay.
huh, and I was really moved by, purpose of life is a life of purpose. I was really moved by that. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Stephen.
You're welcome, and know that you're that part, right? That you're significant, and you need to share that significance with others, because so many people feel insignificant, right? Feel like they don't have something to tie on to and hold on to. Go and give them hope.
Yeah, I got that. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for
Yeah,
your wonderful feedback on that. Actually.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Steve, do you have any special hobbies, Steve? You sing?
Do I sing? Actually, I do. Not very well, but my hobbies. Yeah, I used to love to, believe it or not, I used to love to write love ballads, and I'm not very good at it, so that's why I'm in this business.
Can you sing on song in our program? So let's make it famous on that.
No. I want to keep this a very professional program, but I guess everyone knows Soul Hicks song, right? This little light of mine. But anyway, I really do say, I really think that when you ask me my hobby, believe it or not, it's really this. I love this business, and the thing that gives me the most joy is sharing, like this kind of situation. To be together with passionate advisors like yourselves who are willing to stay up at midnight to try to deal with this stuff and learn and be a better version of yourself. So that is the most fulfilling of all the things that I do.
Wait, what you learned in COVID time? What you learned?
What I learned,
I learned cooking, so I give some break for my.
that is a great question. I am relearning how to cook, right? I've actually learned how to clean up a lot more.
Ah,
And that's like everything, right? Constantly cleaning. But I learned more technology,
that's good.
and the importance, the important role that it can play to help us connect with so many people. Look at what we're doing. Would we have done this pre-COVID as quickly as we have? I don't know. Maybe with Sakti, guys like that, our heroes, yes, it happened, but certainly not from me. And because of COVID, I've reached out and had more seminars across the ocean than ever altogether in my life. So yeah, that's probably the thing I'm learning the most, is that there's a lot more integrating into my life, into the way the world will communicate with one another, and communication is everything, right? And so I love sharing the love this way. So thanks for doing that.
Thank you, Steve. You made the day good, and I think everybody liked it like me. Fun, enjoyment, lovely smile. I'm energetic. I think each one of you attending this program could be energetic on this particular thing. So before closing the program, I just share you my contact detail. Kindly share your feedback, Aisha LIC 2020@gmail.com, and you can able to send all your feedbacks in Facebook as well as and your WhatsApp. You can able to do, and you can have different format you can able to follow, and you can able to give us questions. So looking forward for next webinar on 17th, and I will be floating the person tomorrow, and there will be some special webinar again on 2020. Okay, hope you like the program, and this program will be uploaded to YouTube channel. Kindly subscribe the YouTube channel, make your friends to subscribe, and keep encouraging to that. All the best, guys. All the best on COVID time, and we have taken up your time, but this is something you are invested for your growth. Thank you, Stephen. You have done an awesome work and sharing all your experience stories and other things. Thank you so much. Looking forward to see you on another program. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Steve.
Bye.
Thank you, brother.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All
Thank
to
you,
everyone.
Shakti. Bye bye. Good
Thank you. Thank you.
amazing
Mr.
lecture.
Thank you.
Yes, brother. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.